Blue Protocol is a brand new anime MMO, and I gave it a fair shot. And full disclosure, full transparency here, I played it for about 6 to 8 hours, and I could see the writing in the UI that this one just was not for me. And anything past that just really wasn't worth my time, and I was just kind of forcing myself into it at that point. But this is a first impression video for a reason. I know MMOs are meant to be played for a long time, but again, it's just not for me, and we're going to get into it and talk about it in this video. So let's start out with the pros. Let's start out with what I thought were pretty just general good things about the game, and the first thing is graphics. Now, it has that anime aesthetic. It is nice to look at. It is pretty. The environments look good. But beyond that, beyond it being anime graphics, there wasn't anything in there that says Blue Protocol. There's no theme. There's no style. There's nothing that jumped out of me where if you gave me a screenshot of 5 different anime games, that I would say that one right there is Blue Protocol. Now, you can do that with Warcraft, obviously. So I didn't really see that standout theme or, you know, that unique aspect that says that this game, this right here, this is Blue Protocol. And beside that, I would go with the dodge and parry system. I was surprised to see they had something like that for combat. Now, it isn't, you know, it's not on the level of, say, Elden Ring or anything like that. It's in the game. It's there. You do get rewarded for a dodge or the correct parry. But besides that, it was a pretty standard combat experience. And I was just surprised to see a dodge and parry system. And there's a nice little pop that happens when you do dodge correctly. And then aside from that, it's your basic combat, which you come to expect. It is action combat, and the dodge parry system is just something that was additional that I wasn't expecting from the combat system. And then the last positive for myself was the character creator. It is not super in-depth, but you can make a nice, unique character, all with the different color and aspects you would expect from an anime game and a character creator. Now, it's not super in-depth that some games can get into where you can spend 4 or 5 hours tweaking and fine-tuning a character, but you could probably spend like an hour or so doing every aspect that you wanted to with a character. But I liked it. I thought there was enough there to make a unique character. So overall, character creator is a positive in my book. So like I said, I didn't find too many pros in this. One that I forgot I should mention, I guess, is that if you want to play an anime MMO, this is a chill version of that. This is very chill. I don't see it being very in-depth. I don't see it being very challenging because they have to design for the mobile client and for the mobile aspect of it. And you can only do so much on a phone. You can only do so much with the virtual joystick and pressing the buttons along the side. So I don't see it being very deep or challenging in regards to a PC player versus mobile. I have to keep that in mind, and I just didn't see that. And again, this is very early content. I get that, but I just don't see those aspects of it, of combat, of the movement, of the UI, of the auto pathing, the auto combat. None of those things are going to change drastically by the time you hit the end game that I thought it was warranted any more of my time. All right, now on to my list of cons. So the first one is something that I wasn't necessarily affected by, but I saw a bunch of people listing online, and it is the primary server of the game. It looks like there is one server for a global launch, possibly 2. And it seems that the server is based in the US, so anybody that is away from the server and or based anywhere else other than the US are having a hard time playing the game due to ping-related issues. Now, again, I didn't experience that myself, but I see that as a complaint listed on a lot of different places online. Second thing I didn't like about the game is the movement. I thought the running aspect, specifically the running, I thought the running felt just off. It felt sluggish, and especially if you were to move left or right when you were running, it just seemed like you were stuck in like mud, or your character was like running in a bad dream or something like that. It just didn't feel good at all. Now there is a double jump, quad jump, and I think maybe 5 jumps or something like that. There is a glide, and then eventually as you level further into the game, there is basically a flight system, which looks really cool. And I got to experience that very little in my playtime, but so I would say that is a positive as well, those aspects, but the actual walking, boots on the ground movement felt pretty bad. I didn't like it at all. And so with the movement comes the combat. The combat is floaty. There is no weight to it. There is no momentum. The sound effects don't give it any sort of oomph either. And when you do, you push your attacks, you press the button, it's just pretty like snappy. It just does the animation, and that's kind of it. It is action combat, like I mentioned before, but it's floaty, it's snappy. It just does not give me what I'm looking for in combat. I think there are way better combat systems. Even for tab targeting games, the combat feels a lot better in a lot of other games. And I would expect more flash, more style in an anime game, and it's just not there. It's pretty basic. And, again, this is designed for a, mobile platform in mind as well. So it's just, I was pretty disappointed. I expected big, flashy combats, and it just didn't deliver in my opinion. So the next con is the UI. The UI is utter trash. It is what you come to expect from a mobile game. There are menus and menus and menus and menus. You do 2 things, and then there are like 5 different stars on different menus that you have to click into, and then further click into, and then click into again to either redeem an achievement, a currency, something like that. It is an absolute disaster and a mess of a UI and menu system. It is garbage. It was making my eyes bleed. It's overwhelming. Nothing is explained. It is just awful. It is absolutely terrible. And another aspect that I was surprised to see at a global launch was time-gated content. This is an MMO. You're supposed to be playing it for hours and hours, and I played it for maybe 2 hours, not even that. And it said my next quest unlocked in about 3 hours, and it just stops. The game just stops. It doesn't direct you to a side activity. It doesn't direct you to another NPC to talk to explain these things. It explains nothing. It didn't explain anything. I had to go off of like cues on the menu to like, maybe I should go over here and talk to this person or see what this activity was. There is no explanation whatsoever. You're just left to try and kind of figure it out. There is no explanation of side activities or how to increase like your level after the quest just abruptly stopped. And that was really off-putting and just kind of it just took me out of it. I was like, wait, what do you mean the quest doesn't unlock for 3 hours? What do I do now? Like, what is there to do? And it's just weird. It's a weird decision. And in doing so and kind of going out and exploring, I noticed that the gathering system where, you're gathering resources, rocks, minerals, herbs, that kind of stuff, there is an energy system tied to it too. So when you gather, you use up this energy system. And then once you're out, oh, sorry, you can't gather anymore either. So I believe you can pay to replenish that energy. But again, it's just I hate seeing that in an MMO. It just doesn't make sense. That people like to gather. That's their primary thing that some people like to do, and putting an energy system on it is complete garbage. I didn't like that either. So with the exploration and going out into the world, I found that there is it's optional, but it is in the game. And remember that this is designed for a mobile aspect as well. So there is an auto pathing and auto combat in the game. You can turn these on. Your character will, go to the next objective. It will go. Not only will it go to the objective, it will also fight whatever is in that area as well. Now, these aren't the best. I went off the path. I hit auto path, and it said it could not find a reliable location to go to. And then I put my character back on the road, hit auto path again, and then magically it could go to the objective. And once I was there, it fought for me. It's not an intelligent auto combat by any means. It got killed in one of the fights that I did. But, it's still there. I'm sure it is good enough for certain encounters. And overall, it just feels like a mobile game. It feels like a mobile game ported to PC. That's how the menus are designed. That's how it behaves. That's the design and the combat in some of the like the dungeons, the boss encounters that I did. So again, I said this one wasn't for me. In my recommendations, I think you're better off playing any other of the MMOs that you enjoy out there, or playing maybe an ARPG that have the anime aspect, that have, you know, the deep combat systems. You can join up with co-op or other players online. I just don't see this one being worth putting, you know, hundreds of hours into, when it doesn't look like they're concerned about anything other than monetization. And we should talk about that too. I found, like in my time of, I made a list here. So I looked into the monetization, and from this is what I could find in trying to navigate the various menus. There is a season pass, a battle pass, a premium pass, a cosmetic gacha, a mount gacha, a battle gacha, and there are different stores that have their own premium currency that are exclusive to the stores. There are special discounts. There are short discounts. There are FOMO events that you have to participate in, but you can't earn quite enough currency to get, you know, whatever is being, you know, pushed out to you or bought. And it is just currencies on currencies on currencies. It's confusing, it's unnecessary, it's ridiculous, and I just don't have any patience for it. I don't want to figure it out. It shouldn't be this hard. It doesn't need to be that difficult. And it's just gross. There's just for as many menus as there are, that's how many currencies there are as well. And it's just an absolute mobile designed game to just suck the money out of you for character customization. And there is even power and progression tied to those monetization systems as well. So again, I think this could be a chill MMO, but it is not for me personally. And if you're looking for anything in depth and complex, or, you know, worth your time other than, you know, navigating menus and currencies, I don't think this one's it. I think you're better off with whatever else is on the market and or coming out as well. So that is my first impression on about 6 to 8 hours of game. Please keep that in mind. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. I love to hear from you, and I look forward to, you know, engaging with you. And if you're into ARPGs, MMOs, RPGs, then please consider subscribing to the channel, because that's what I do, that's what I cover. And I am looking to hopefully do this a little bit more, so anything you can contribute helps me out tremendously. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Be kind to yourself, be kind to one another, and I will see you again in the next live stream or video. Take care. Peace.